I'm a bit of a gamer, and as a gamer, I have gamer problems. And one of those gamer problems that I have is that when I'm playing, especially like an open world game, I have the idea to do one thing, and then in the process of doing that thing, I see something else that I want to do, and I get distracted, and then 2 hours has gone by, and the big tree that I wanted to run towards, I haven't gotten to the big tree yet. Instead, I've mined all the stone, and I've upgraded my axe instead. And so, as a developer, in addition to being a gamer, I've created a product to help keep me on track while I'm playing these games. And I'll give you a quick demo of it right now. So what I've created is called Kanbot. And Kanbot's a Discord bot that works like a to-do list. The name comes from like a Kanban board. So we have our to-do, doing, and done list. And that way I can always keep on track of the things that I'm doing. So let me give you, let's do a quick help. Let's see how the text size is here. Looking pretty good, maybe. That's too big, okay. So here's our Kanbot. And so if I wanna add an item, so let's say the thing that I want to do is to run to the big tree, I can do just like that. And so we've added run to the big tree into to do. I can also add things directly into doing. So maybe upgrade my axe. I can add that to doing, and then if I just want to add something directly to done, I can do that as well. Maybe this is collect stone. All very gamer things to do. Now I can list out everything. Oh, I have stuff in here from before. So I can give you the opportunity to see removing something. So I can, well, let me show you first. If I list just to do, I get numbers for everything. And one thing that's important to me as a gamer is that I need to keep my APM high. So if I want to delete something, I just want to reference it by a number. So if I want to remove explore the swamp, very gamer thing to do. So I will remove from to do number 3, which is explore the swamp. And now that is gone. List to do. Oh, gotta spell it right. List to do. There we go. There we have that. And so you can move something as well. So if I wanted to say run to the big tree is actually something that I'm doing right now, I can move from to do number 3 to doing. Boom. And then if I list my doing, I can see here's my doing items. If I've run to the big tree, then I can move from doing number 2 to done. Boom. And that's it. And so now I can keep track of all my items. One of the cool things is that because this is in Discord, it's shared with everybody, and all these items are persisted to long-term storage, so it's not going to get erased as soon as it's done. How are we doing on time here? Let me just spend like another minute or two, and I'll just give you a quick tour of the code. One other thing that I thought was, can I make this bigger? Can I go to presentation mode? There we go. That's a little bit better. And my face is over some of the text. That's fine. You don't need to read the text in a coding example. One of the things that I wanted to do here, or actually there were 2 things, so that I wanted to try with this project. So one, I'd written Discord bots before in TypeScript, and I wanted to use Discord RB to write it in Ruby because I'm familiar with Ruby and I like Ruby a lot, and I find Ruby to be cool and exciting. The other thing is that I wanted to test persisting things to long-term storage, like I mentioned, and I wanted to use Active Record as a standalone outside of Rails. I know there's a lot of strong opinions about Active Record, but it's kind of one of those things where it's like I know it, and it reduces the amount of pure SQL that I need to run. And so I wanted to do that, and I did that. Cool. Let's spend like another minute on this. So quickly, we can see that I have my item class established here. We're using an enum for the status. So one of the cool things with that is that I can make to do 0, doing is 1, and done is 2. I can always refer to that as like, give me all the items with status of to do. But if I order it, it's always going to go to do, doing, done. So ordering by status will always give me those items in the right order, which is really cool. I have a little bit of pure SQL here to create the table if it doesn't exist already. If it doesn't exist, then you have to do something like Heroku run or Heroku PG PSQL, something like that, which will take you into the Heroku Postgres database client, IRB for Postgres. And then you can just do drop table items. You have to spell table correctly. I was thinking about making a method for that, but that felt a little bit sketchy to make it super easy to drop the database. So we establish the connection. We run this create the table code, the SQL here if we need to, and then let's just. Why are we doing on time? We're kind of running a little bit long. So let me just show you. Adding. Just to give an example. So I have this command authorize method here. I did this out of pure pettiness because as I was testing this, I couldn't get it to work, and somebody in my Discord server was flaming me for it. So the way that this command authorize works is that if your user ID is equal to that user's ID, then it says you can't, you're not authorized to do this, and it returns false. With 5 minutes of retrospect, that's a little bit petty, but I do actually like the idea of having this shim in there of authorization so that you could limit the bot's activity to just one server or just one, move out of the way of the sun a little bit. You can limit it to or just one channel, or you could actually prevent certain people from using it. So I kind of like having it in there. I also think there's like a much better way to write it. I think that you could actually probably just rewrite this method something like event.user.id equals their ID, or not equal to their ID. I think this would be equivalent, because if this will return true or will return false. If it is not equal to their ID, then this will evaluate to true because that ID is not equivalent to their ID. But if their ID is that ID, then it will be equivalent, and so this will return false. So this actually probably is like a nicer, cleaner way of doing it, although it doesn't have the nice return method. So we're going to do the bad way. I'm sure you could overcome that. Anyway, let me show you how add works just as an example. So what I do is I see if the status, so when you pass something into a Discord bot, we're using the, as I mentioned, we're using the Discord RB. We're creating a command bot. And one of the things you do is you prefix it with the exclamation point. That's why I was doing exclamation point, whatever. So if you want to do add, we have the symbol add here. So you do exclamation point add, it automatically passes in the event, which has all sorts of great context that you need to interact with the, that's the way the bot and the server go back and forth with each other. You have the status, and then you have this kind of array of items here. And so what I'm doing here is if the status is to do, if it's not to do, doing, or done, then I'm just going to assume that you want it to be to do. And so so when I just did add and the thing, if I get out of this mode, let's see if this works. Whoa, hey, ooh, whoa. If I just do add thing, it's going to assume that goes into do. Otherwise, if I do add to doing other thing, that gets added into doing. And I've probably been over the text a lot this time. Sorry about that. And then anyway, so yeah, so we grab that. We've got the status, and we've gotten the item from that command, and then we just do, because we've brought in active record, we just do item.create. The user ID is the person who submitted it. We're not using that yet, but I figure you probably would want to start tagging these to the individual people on the server. The server ID, Discord RB very helpfully translates, I think Discord calls them guilds, but that's not used anywhere else. So you can just ask for the server ID and get that here. We take the item description, which is the item here, and then we take the status in, and then we send that back. And so that's really, really great and really helpful. So we don't have time. Oh my God, this is so long. So if you'd like to use this, I'd be happy to have more people use it. I'll include the link to the code if you want to. Let's go back over to me. If you want to use this, I'd be happy to share it with you. I would love for people to expand it. I actually have used this in my real Discord server a bit, and it actually has been useful. And especially when somebody logs on and they want to play a game and they're like, well, what do we want to do? And we can just look at the list and do it. It does feel a little bit like work. And like, all right, well, let's, the the thing we should work on is the next thing in the backlog, but I don't know. I find it to be a fun thing to interact with. Anyway, so if you'd like to try it out, please download the code, try it yourself. If there's enough desire for it, then maybe I'll actually host this or release this. But yeah, just wanted to do a little bit of show and tell on something fun that I worked on over the weekend. Thanks, bye-bye.